Hello Factorio people, welcome back to the broadcast from Krastorio, episode 24. So close to the finish, so close. Two or three more maybe, I don't know. Things go very smoothly today, I feel like. If you want to do the old like, comment, subscribe for me, that would be very good. And then let's just jump straight into it, shall we? We put the second low density structure build down last time. That was the last thing we did, and that all went down pretty smoothly. Just plopped it down, there it goes. We always knew this was going to be the benefit of this system. Oh, there goes the Spidertron finishing off the second layer of pollution filters on the wall. We always knew this was going to be the benefit of this system, is that you just design a thing, and then you copy and paste it down. I mean, that's the benefit of any city block system, but we're not doing city blocks. Not really. Not really. The mall coped quite well, I thought. I had to tell them all to stockpile more regular beacons. The stockpile of singularity beacons was okay. We didn't run out of anything. This didn't take very long at all. And it works. Sits nicely here on the lake. Looks good. So the only thing left on the list is... technically rare metals need a bit of a buff. Technically. A lot of the rare metals that we use go straight into the thing that they go into. Imersite. No. Imersite plates? Is that right? Yes, it is. It is. It is. Oh man, I need to tidy up my tags. I do tidy up my tags later, but I should have tidied them up before. This isn't Imersite plates, this is speed modules. A lot of rare metals go into Imersite plates, but we still need some rare metals anyway, and this isn't cutting it anymore, in my opinion. Pollution cloud update. Yeah, the Spidertron needs to just go around and double up the pollution filters on the edges. The way the pollution spread works is it's 5%, I think. It's 5%. Once it goes over 15, 5% of the pollution value spreads to a neighbouring chunk. And one pollution filter can get rid of 150 per minute. So that's like, what, 2 and a bit per second. So once the pollution value once 5% of the pollution value is more than 2.5 per second, you need to double them up, and then triple them up, and then quadruple them up, and it gets out of hand, basically. Because, I mean, as I say, these pollution numbers on the inside, and the very deep inside, are hitting 10,000 in some places. So, pollution doesn't cap, basically. It's just going to keep going and going and going and going and going. So, I don't really think there is a permanent long-term solution to the pollution. Turns out. Okay. Oh, God. Press F5 to turn my debug mode off, and it was already off. Alright, let's look at rare metals. Rare metals. So we don't need the enrichment process on a separate section anymore. We don't need it to be smelted in a separate section. We can just bring the matter in, turn the matter into stone, do the stone electrolysis. You know the drill. You know the drill by now. Enrich the rare metals, smelt the rare metals. 4 belts. This will be enough to supply the things that we don't use the rare metals for on site. Which, if I look at my calculator, is not very much at all. Processing units. 4 belts to processing units. But we need 3 modules of processing units. So, a lot of rare metals go out and about, but not very often. Matter cards and nitric acid, which is already done. The nitric acid, of course. I demolished the old lab setup and just ask the trains to bring it into this. So that doesn't affect our average sites per minute, it just makes the graph go a bit crazy, because this can process 2,700 cards, but we don't make that many. We only make 1,000 a minute, as we know. But I just thought I'd do this, just so that it was done. I should change this to a 1-4 train. Whoa, windy. Sorry. You probably, maybe you heard that in the microphone, I don't know, but the curtain just blew right into my face. Hilarious. Okay. Where was the rare metals? It was somewhere over here. Anyway, it's gone. It's gone. The point is, it's gone. Sorted. Problem solved. So we need another list, really. We need another list of what we still need to copy and paste. Because I can put tags down and say 2 of 4, 1 of 3, etc. Not quite tidied all the tags up yet, but it'd just be better to have a list so that I don't forget. Because you know what I'm like, I'll copy and paste something 4 times, having thought that I'd not done it at all. So that looks like this. Oh my god, the wind, please. Sorry, I had to close the window. So that looks like this. This is initially what I thought that we need, the modules that need to be copied. 2 sections of labs, low density structures, advanced circuits, etc, etc. I do add a few more things to this as I realise that maybe that's not quite enough. But this is a good start. And this is very easy. The hardest part really is just designing the rails. We've got a lot of room here for stuff that can just go, stuff that is only there because it is turning things into turning ores into matter, or it's an old mining outpost that just doesn't do anything anymore. I think I deleted these belts here possibly 5 hours ago, thinking I'll just wait for this copper to be empty and then I'll get rid of it, and it doesn't happen. Copper only goes to one place in this base, and that is, ooh, off the top of my head, can't remember. Stations, copper plates in. Oh, it goes to the mall, of course. Oh, of course, we need some copper for the satellites and things. The satellite shopping list. Iron is a bit different. Iron goes to a lot of places in small quantities. It goes to all the rocket fuel sections. It goes to anywhere we need sulfuric acid on site. No, that's not true. No, because we do the iron from... There are a lot of iron stations, basically. I was trying to think about things that we could cut down, but there are actually 8 iron plate stations. Steel... Yeah, the rocket fuels, whatever this one is, lithium batteries, of course, and they're never in huge quantities. That's the thing. It's never in huge quantities that I feel like it's worth doing it via matter on site. And maybe that's a mistake. I don't know. So with the list in hand, yeah, sorry, so I was saying that like a lot of this can go or can be merged into other, so I could turn this copper into matter that goes into this train station and things like that. So with a list in hand, I suppose we can just spend a little bit of time copying and pasting some stuff down. So let's see what that looks like. Alright, to start with, I did a rocket fuel module, electronic control unit module, and a processing unit module is in the midst of being built. Good. It works. You have to be... You either have to be a bit careful / not care about when you need water in a build. I tried my best to make sure that I was not being too cheaty with the water. I realised that maybe if there was I never had a water fill mod at all, things would be a lot different to some degree. So much needs water and in such vast quantities, I'm not really sure how you would get around that. You can make water from matter, of course, so maybe it would just be that. Rocket fuel. Second rocket fuel module. It's all good. Electronic control units went down here. Need some water for the quartz process for that. And yeah, processing units fits in an old city block, so that's nice. Did I put lights in this build? No, I should probably do that. Oh, it doubled up the lights. Okay, well I would have just done that anyway if you were going to do it like that, Factorio. Be like that then. Okay, so yeah, so then we just go add tag, get a little tick out, boom, there we go. Pollution cloud is okay. We've had to go really ham down here on the bottom. I'm annoyed that this didn't work as smoothly as it should have done. It's just eventually gonna leak. You can see the water doesn't absorb the pollution as fast. You can see the pollution is just sitting on the lake. It's quite cool. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do. It's just an ongoing problem. It'll get to the point where what I'll probably do is I'll probably just stop making pollution filters, just wait for all the pollution filters to run out, because it's a 90% chance I think you get a dirty pollution filter out. So I'll just wait for the pollution filters to naturally all be spent. Be annoyed at the amount of resources I spent on air purifiers. Oh, only 2,000. Only 2,000 so far. That's not that bad. It does get worse. Because I do end up expanding this all the way along the bottom, and then Spidertron has to go up to the top as well. It starts expanding out of the top. And I'll just put some flipping energy weapons down around the edge instead. Screw this. Okay, so with processing units, some more energy control units, I thought, let's look at a science. Let's look at one of the sciences. The only science... the only thing we don't have completely finished and done is Singularity tech cards, because we still have yet to do Singularity beacons. Singularity beacons? Sorry, that's not what these are called. These are called charged matter stabilizers. So I thought, oh, that'd be okay. I'll just do a big build of this, and then I realised, oh, if I do a big build of this and put it into a 1-4 train, I would then have to go through every single one of my charged matter stabilizer stations and make them all 1-4 unloading stations instead. And some of them I've not actually built with that in mind. They would be quite annoying to change all of those. So I had a look on Factorio Calculator, and I decided to leave this as it is. And this will just supply the matter stabilizers, the charge matter stabilizers that go around the base for when you need to turn matter into things. And the charge matter stabilizers that exclusively go into Singularity tech cards, because of course you don't get those back either. Those just become spent. I will just make those on site. And this is as far as I got in the design area before I realised that. So let's look at that. Hello. Welcome to Spaghetti. Is it that bad? I don't know. I don't know what counts as spaghetti anymore in these builds. Drinking my coffee. Why didn't I drink my coffee when I was paused? You don't need a huge amount of matter stabilizers. Really, I guess. So I split this into 4. I couldn't get it over 2, like rocket launchers are. I thought this would be nice. Because all of the cards obviously have the same crafting time and output, so they all make 5 over 20 seconds. So providing you've got one that makes what you want, 5,443, you can just use that, but I couldn't quite get it to go. So we bring in stuff to make the charge matter stabilizers, which is immersium plates, processing units, energy control units, and then we bring in the other ingredients for the cards. We make the matter stabilizers here. We charge them. It really bugs me that the energy control units are like the same grey as the belts, and I keep thinking, oh no, it's empty, oh god, it's a disaster. Charge the stabilizers, put the stabilizers on a belt, do some belt weaving to get everything in, and output onto 2 belts, just because, just to be doubly sure. Because of course we do make ever so slightly more than 1 purple belt, so just to be doubly sure, just spread it out over 2 belts. And this works. Works very well. I have of course gotten to the point now where I need to add more power. I did that last episode, I just never mentioned it. Just forgot to mention it. Simple case, copy and paste the build, seed it with some, whatever these are called, matter coils, antimatter fuel cells. I've explained how this build works before. The chest's only prime with 1 cell, and only loads it when an empty cell comes out. So you have to seed it yourself, but then once it's sorted. And then I just add a train that's only job is to go and pick up matter and just sit here until it's empty. I don't bother with circuit conditions for this, because the train sitting here doing nothing is totally fine in my opinion. Current power is 298 gigawatts. Pollution is, yep, still just leaking out the bottom here, so it's very hands-off. Like, admittedly, it's not difficult to just have the Spidertron with its logistics request and just add more. I just had really hoped that this would do more than it is. Because whenever I go into the pollution production graph, the consumption is so high compared to the production. Like, the pollution filters can currently absorb 100,000 pollution a minute. And our advanced chemical plants spit out 40,000 a minute, matter assemblyzers 36, you know, like, these probably do add up to more than 100,000. You know, if I went into the lab and actually added these numbers together, then sure. So I'm annoyed. If I'd have known that this was not really a viable solution at the time, I wouldn't have spent so much effort in doing it. And I'd have built a wall and I'd have just put laser turrets down instead. But alas. Okay, so Singularity Tech cards come into the base. I made these warehouses just not... Where am I stood? Of course, I'm stood over here. I made these warehouses just have a bit of a limit on them, just to make sure that we weren't... Because there were, at one point, 400,000 optimization tech cards in the system because I left the rockets going. And it didn't break. Thankfully, it didn't break. We have launched, since last episode, about 800 rockets, so that's quite good. Alright, adding the Singularity Tech cards to the base puts a strain on crystals, mostly. Because we bring in crystals to make energy control units. We need 3 energy control unit modules, and we need 3 corresponding crystal modules. And currently, according to my list, we only have one crystal module, but 2 energy control unit modules, so no wonder there are complaints. So let's do another copy and paste phase. Doubled up the red circuits, added the extra crystals, decided that you do need 2 electronic component modules after all. Because electronic components go into Factorio calculator, they go into energy control units, and we don't make those on site for that, which, you know, is possibly a mistake. Oh no, we do make the energy control units on site. What am I talking about? Well, we don't make them on site for red circuits, that's what it was. Sorry, it was the other way around, yeah. We don't make them on site for red circuits. We make the green circuits on site, but we don't make the electronic components on site. And it does use 4 belts. So having doubled this up, probably was prudent to double electronic components up as well. So the second crystals build went down here. Tidied up some of the rails just to give everything... I don't want dead ends, basically. I don't mind dead ends if it's a station or a stacker. But I don't want dead ends like this. Bugs me. So what I really want is I want something here to make this a bit more of a loop. Especially because this was the first one I built, and I was not thinking about stacking up unloading stations in the same way that I am now for builds like this. I put the unloading on the sides, which makes it hard for the trains to turn around. Thankfully it's only the cubes and the stabilizers, so it's not very frequent at all. But that does mean that this train comes in, unloads, and then has to go all the way around here, turn around and come back. I did at one point have turnarounds here, signalling for this, and that does kind of work, but it's just not really sensible. Yeah, so this is where the second electronic component build went, tidied this up, tied this together with this, cleared some space here for something to go later. It's going to be difficult to get everything to look decent come the end. There are going to be a lot of empty grid sections that I just, you know, I can put power in there, or there are just eventually going to be empty ones, unfortunately. And we'll see what occurs with that. Please don't anybody suggest 10,000 signs per minute. Just don't even go there, okay? There's some easy wins as well, like because everything aligns with the grid, we can change this to be this quite easily. This is going to go soon, so that gives us a big block here to spend. It's huge! Okay. Where's my list? Oh, I turned the tags off. That makes more sense. Right. I've completely lost my place. Oh yes, I finally did start to change this to do matter instead. So I'm just unloading the copper from the things into this, and then this just goes into here. Did I add any more matter yet? I don't think so. I think that's what I do next. Let me add some more matter to the base. Added the second uranium processing section. Goodbye, inserter. Obviously we don't need the Covarex enrichment process for this bit, or making fuel cells or anything like that. Everything in the back of my mind is sort of, you know, swirling around what's going to be a problem. This, I am worried. I think out of everything, I think the uranium might be the thing I'm most worried about going forwards. We need 3 sections of this to make enough uranium to make purple cards. And the only way around getting uranium-235 as a byproduct is to make uranium from matter. That's very expensive. Very expensive. 47.1 matter makes 10. Compared to making uranium ore, 10 uranium ore from 8 matter. 10 uranium ore will get you... Oh, that's a good question. 1 uranium, mostly, for the most part. So... I could, of course, add enough matter to the system to just make uranium from matter. And that might end up being something I have to do. Because eventually we're just going to have uranium-235 backed up. This one over here, the original one, the original and best, that has never ever backed up this whole time. This first centrifuge here, the very first one in the list, has done 100,000 different cycles. We need to make uranium fuel cells. There's no two ways about it. And we need to repurpose them. So eventually we're going to run... Eventually this tritium is going to be full. Eventually this one's going to be full. I did too much Covarex too early. We haven't done any Covarex in a very, very, very long time, but we're still just adding uranium to the system. If we go into the production graph and search for uranium fuel cells, somehow, here we go. We can probably add twice as many trains before we start using more uranium than we're getting from this process. I don't know if we will add twice as many trains. The simple answer, of course, is to just crush it, which makes absolutely no sense, of course. Just put a crusher here and say, when this is full, crush some uranium to get rid of it. That seems extremely wasteful, but that really might be the only solution. If I think in my brain about all of the known knowns, at least, the known knowns are this will fill up. So if I think about going away for 10 hours and leaving the base running and seeing what happens, the one thing that I know will happen is that this chest will fill up and we'll have to deal with it. But, okay. Maybe I should just make uranium from matter. It seems extremely wasteful. Is it more wasteful? Because I'm mining this now. But this doesn't take much sulfuric acid. It's very easy to do this. And there's enough uranium on the map. Like, I've still got this original one over here. It's awful design. Horrible. Look how old this system is. Jesus, ancient. There's a good patch up here that's ripe. There's this one here is easy. Anyway, I don't know. So I add some more matter to the system generally. There's this horrible mixed patch here which I've been looking at for a long time. Crude to matter, as we know, is very quick and simple and easy. So we're making a lot more matter than we were, which is good. And... oh, this needs a tick. Where's my tick? There we go. Pollution update. Currently inside the square, but you can see quite how many filters I've needed to add to make sure that that happens. Yeah, yikes. Okay. I got rid of this list because this list was now redundant. We know that we've done everything. This list is more important now. Alright, let's look at another card, shall we? Let's look at purple tech cards, because purple tech cards are the most difficult thing that we have left to do. Yellow is easy, just bring it in and make them. Matter is easy, same thing, you just have to make it in 2 stages, and the same with advanced tech cards. Just need to make the immersium gear wheels on site. That was always the plan. So let's look at purple tech cards. Alright, this was awful. This caused me a lot of issues. You turn matter into iron ore, you enrich the iron ore, you turn that into a lot of plates because you need to make a lot of gears to make red belts, because red belts are a ingredient in purple tech cards for some reason. Thankfully we already did the modules a few episodes ago in a different place. Uranium comes in, black tech cards come in. The most annoying part was getting it to line up like this, because the issue is with any of these builds, when you have a large 5x5 like this and then you want to have a beaconed assembler slightly down the line, to have it line up and be copy pastable like this, it has to be like this, except properly. Oh, for God's sake. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? Please. It has to line up like this. But by lining it up like this, you can't squeeze more modules next to the furnaces. So, if you put the singularity beacons, if you want space for the singularity beacons like this, then your advanced assembly machine does not become affected by these beacons. But if you move them in so that they are, you can't then do nice copy-paste lines. There's just no way to get it to line up. Thankfully, I was able to use the singularity beacons to do this in a hugely wasteful way, but at least it works. And it is all in nice, tight lines, and you know. And a lot of belt weaving, a lot of belt braiding. Thankfully the numbers work out for this. The blank tech cards are on a blue belt, which is fine. The green belts have the red belts on them. And then the uranium and productivity modules are shared on the purple belt. And, you know, looking at it now with fresh eyes, maybe it's fine. But at the time I was like, oh, I hate this. I hate this so much. Let's turn it on. Just need some water in the system for the ore enriching process, and then we're good to go. Oh, the sulfuric acid comes from over here, because of the black box sulfuric acid build that I did, because I'm, frankly, a genius. Lots of splitters, lots of loaders. I really phoned this one in, guys, I have to say. My brain is cooked. I'm cooked. You wanna know how cooked I am? For the longest time this didn't work, and I could not work out why, and that's because this was a matter assembler and not a matter plant. And I had it set to this recipe. And I was like, why does it say output full? What is going on? It's because this wasn't here. This was doing this. And this was just turning the matter in the system into stone. And then saying output full, and I was like, I've played too much Factorio. I can't see the forest for the trees. But anyway, this does work, and this makes 5,405, which I'm sure won't come back to bite me at any point. Alright, we need to do a brief housekeeping phase, I believe. Here's the final design of this. I just squeezed in some singularity beacons with efficiency modules in, just to lower our power usage a little bit. Housekeeping phase involved 1, adding laser turrets to the mall, because the pollution thing is just annoying me now. I'm just gonna get rid of this train. Just gonna say when the pollution filters run out, they run out. Tidied up some of the train lines, I believe. Just made things loop around a bit more sensibly. I still haven't done this. What's wrong with me? This needs to tie up. I don't know why I haven't done that yet on this save file. pollution is like this. I also... It's not here anymore. I probably should have showed you. I also had a quick phase of putting some furnaces here with requester chests to just get rid of... For some reason the mall was full of iron ore, rare metal ore, enriched rare metal ore. Presumably I just deleted something and didn't care enough about emptying the boxes out before I deleted a section. So yeah. So we have 3 of the 6 science cards done, and not only do we have half of it done already, we have done the 3 most annoying ones. We've done the singularity ones, which needed the matter stabilizers. We've done rocket launchers and their associated tech cards, and we've just done purple tech cards. So we only have the 3 really easy ones left that will probably fit in a grid section. Am I going to make the matter cards in one place and ship them to somewhere else? I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. So let's round this episode out. Seeing as we ended the last one on the second low density structures build, let's just build another one, shall we? Let's just quickly copy paste that down. It's going to live up here. Just need to bring in a bit of water for the sulfuric acid and seed the ore enriching with some water, but that should be fine. It's got a little lake here. So just tie this together like this, gain some space here. Eventually this crude matter will run out. Eventually, hopefully. This is my resource monitor. Full table at the moment. Copper ore. Oh, it finally ran out. Yay! Good. This one can go as well now. Excellent. Crude to matter, 9 million. This is going to take just a casual 40, 50 hours. 50 hours to run out. That's fine. Yikes. It's more just the principle of it, really. Like, you get so much matter so quickly from this. Just not using it seems like a mistake, even if it is plopped right in the middle of the base, and I could be doing other better things with the space. But there we go. Alright. So I won't give this a tick yet. Seems a bit preemptive to give this a tick. But this will be low density structures 3 or 4. We'll just need to do a simple copy paste lot for these 5 modules here. Put the extra labs down. And then build some designs for the last 3 tech cards, which should be easy. Then we gotta just turn it all on and see what breaks. What doesn't keep up, what doesn't work. There's really no way of knowing. I was talking earlier about known knowns, now we've got the unknown unknowns. Exciting times. Pollution update. It's still being contained within the walls, but I mean you can see quite how far I've gone on this. Once the infrastructure's there, like, maybe it's fine. Maybe I'll just leave the pollution filters there, but also put the turrets down. Like, I am just going to make a whole bunch of turrets. The laser turrets are very powerful, and they just need a power supply, which we have sorted. Okay. So yes, I genuinely do think that the next episode will be the penultimate episode, and then there'll probably be one very special episode about the base in general, once everything is up and running and working. So please, if you enjoyed, let me know with a like and a comment, and if you want to see more Krastorio, be sure to subscribe. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.